was the girl that you worked with at Shop with the Cop.
Yes.
I can't get over how well she plays that piano.
I know.
I was so amazed.
And I love the 8th grade promotion video.
Oh,
also.
yes.
Was phenomenal.
It was. Greg Freeman put that together and it was perfect. Mark's was playing the piano. That was the girl that you worked with at Shop with the Cop.
Yes.
I can't get over how well she plays. I'm hearing our conversation.
Oh, Wayne, is that the YouTube channel?
Yes, we're now. Yeah, we're now live on YouTube.
Yes,
it was phenomenal.
It was Groundhog Day. Put that together. And
Carol, you have about a minute right now.
Okay.
That's 59 according to Verizon. Or T-Mobile, I should say.
Hearing our conversation.
Oh, Wayne, is that the YouTube channel?
Yeah. Yes, we're now live on YouTube.
It was Groundhog Day. Put that together.
Carol, you have about a minute right now.
Okay.
According to Verizon. Or T-Mobile, I should say.
Yeah. We're now live on YouTube.
Wayne, do you have that running? Somebody has the YouTube.
Yeah,
link.
let me see. Somebody, yeah, I know.
They could maybe turn that off.
Yeah.
Carol at 7.
Okay.
Wayne, do you have that running? Somebody has the YouTube.
Yeah, let me see. Somebody, yeah, I know.
You could maybe turn that off.
Yeah. Okay, are we good now?
I can't see the screen.
Okay.
Hi, Dale.
Hello.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can I have the roll call, please, Mrs. Reed?
Yes, Lauren C. Slack,
Here.
Dale Hine,
Here.
Jillian Emmert,
Here.
Jason Bashaw,
Here.
Christy Cooper,
Here.
Dwayne Dietrich,
Here.
Sean McGinley, Donald Panto,
Here.
Carol Cunningham.
Here. We had an executive session prior to the meeting this evening. Presentations, there are none. I'll move to the oath of office for newly appointed board member.
I'm going to read the oath of office, and Christy will take and respond. Christy Cooper, do you solemnly swear that you will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and that you will discharge the duties of the office with fidelity?
Yes, I do.
Welcome, Christy.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Christy. Welcome.
Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard, Christy.
Welcome.
Moving on to number 7, administration board discussions and report, academics and education, Dr. Lutz Demling.
Good evening, everyone. I just have a few things to report. First, we have closed our district parent guardian online feedback and planning for the 2021 survey. And we are just beginning to analyze the data. We are going to be using that data to guide our reopening plans for the fall. And second, I just wanted to share that we do have 3 textbooks on tonight's agenda, and we are requesting preliminary approval with final approval after 30 days for our high school chemistry text, high school AP World History text, and high school economics. And finally, we also have our district's flexible instructional day application on the board agenda for approval. I believe that was emailed out to all of the board members, and our administrators reviewed that, as well as we had a number of teachers submit instructional exemplars that are going to be attached to our application. And our application is very similar to our continuity of education plan. We added a few requirements that the PA Department of Education said we needed to include for the flexible instructional day application, but overall it's very similar to what we implemented with our continuity of education plan. So we have that on for board approval this evening, and upon receiving board approval, our plan will be to submit that to the PA Department of Education. And as long as we submit by June 15th, we should hear early in the fall when we start the next school year. And if those days are approved, then we could use, online days as flexible instructional days that would count towards school days. And, the same with that could possibly be used for snow days as well. So we'll see what happens with our application, and we'll keep you updated on that as we proceed. That's all I have.
Thank you. B, Finance, Mr. Spengler.
Thank you, Mrs. Cunningham. Really the big relative financial item on tonight's agenda is the final approval of the 2020-2021 school district budget. This budget reflects a $33,576,329 budget. It does balance revenues and expenses. It does not use fund balance, since our estimated fund balance ending this year will be a couple $100,000. We're not accustomed to using fund balance anyway, since we have not had a fund balance, as you're aware. It does, on the revenue side, reduce our collection rate to 95% from a typical 96%. It also increases budgetary reserve to about $84,000. It was $50,000 prior to that. Also on the revenue side, the big change is just the fact that we needed to reflect CARES money, which is the federal funds that we will be receiving as a revenue. So we're not using all that the first year, so that we can spread that out. And it does also reflect the revenue from the health and safety grant from PDE, which is also CARES money. Basically, the state received a portion of the CARES money that they reserve at the state level, and they chose to use part of that money, at least, to turn it back to school districts in the form of like health and safety grants related to COVID-related expenses. So, we included in the budget about $100,000 of potential cleaning supplies and things like that that we will need during next year as things come up. So, a little bit of crystal ball in the budget, quite honestly, as we've discussed, but we're fairly confident what it is, the budget in general. On the tax millage side, because we are required, and we did review this with Mr. Nur legally, we are required to rebalance annually since we're in a 2-county school district. So, the goal being a 0 mil tax increase, but that's almost impossible for us to achieve on each level because we have 2 counties. So in the Lehigh County side, it's approximately a 1.8% increase, which the average homeowner in the district, it's about a $39 increase on that side. In the Lehigh County side, the North Catasauqua or Northampton County side, I should really say, it reflects a 5.3% decrease, which is about a typical homeowner on an average assessed home is about $139 savings. So you can see it's what rebalancing drives out on an annual basis. But all said, I think it's a responsible budget. So that is the budget that's on for tonight for final approval in recognition of PD's requirement of us having a budget by June 30th.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Building and grounds, Mr. Spengler.
I really don't have anything for building grounds tonight, but thank you.
You're welcome. 7D, policy, Mr. Nur.
I have no policies this evening.
Okay, moving on to athletics, Mr. Mall.
Bob, do you want to
Oh, I'm sorry.
say something?
Yes, Thomas, I did tell you that I would do a little set on this one. So very recently, as recent as this morning, we do have a general template for the restart of athletics. Let's just say that. There's various views here, but it's athletics. So it has been an area that we've been looking for some structure and some direction for at the state level. We did receive a general template. We very quickly turnekeyed that template over to Lehigh Valley Health, who's our health partner, and they have reviewed that and basically turnkeyed it back to us so that we are requesting approval for you to consider so that basically we can start our athletic season effective, Thomas, that is June 22nd, I think.
Yeah, that's the hope. That would be the earliest, would be the 22nd.
Right.
I did get, Bob, did you send this stuff out to the board members?
I did.
Okay.
Yes.
So what they sent us was something from Lehigh Valley Health Network and Coordinated Health in conjunction with their medical doctors and their athletic trainers, and help from PDE and CDC and PIAA. So it's something that we feel comfortable with. I met with our athletic trainers on Wednesday. We actually had a Zoom with the fall sports coaches at 6:00 tonight. And basically we're requiring, the first question I asked all the coaches is, when would you guys like to start? Because some of our sports really don't start stuff normally until like early July. So we got an idea when everyone wanted to start or wants to start. And the requirement that we're putting in is the coaches from that sport and the trainers and myself will have to meet a week before that to just kind of go through what they're allowed to do, not allowed to do in specific to that particular sport. One of the areas that we talked about is so basically the first phase, the first 2 weeks is more conditioning and weight training. And one of the things we're going to do is convert our wrestling room into another weight room area. So we could have 10 to 12 kids in the wrestling room and 10 to 12 kids in the weight room based off of social distancing. One thing that I think is really good about this is our athletic training staff from Lehigh Valley Health Network will be there during all of our off-season workouts as part of our agreement and part of what they're going to do. So that makes me feel, they're the ones that are going to be probably the most important in handling this. When the kids come, every kid's going to have to get screened, ask questions, and all kinds of stuff. And we wanted not to rush into this and wait a week or two so everyone's on page on what we're doing. And I think it lucked out for us, and we have a board meeting tonight after the governor released all this information yesterday. So, what you guys got is what we got today, and hopefully it's gets approved.
Thank you.
My concern is, I just sat down and looked at this. I have no idea what's in it. We're going to approve something that we have not even read. I have questions, on, what's in it. I suggest, we don't vote on it and maybe have a meeting, even if it's going to cost us some money to advertise it, in a short period of time. I don't feel comfortable voting on something we didn't receive until, I don't know when it came. I had an appointment at 3:30 and it wasn't in my email by then.
Correct. I mean, we can easily do that. That's not a bad decision, you know what I mean, or bad advice whatsoever, Dale. I agree. It's one of those tough things, and this is what we've been dealing with in this COVID era right now with guidance from our state level. They literally dump it down to us quickly, and then for us to make anything happen within our time frame, we've got to react quickly. But I realize this is very, very quick. I mean, I'm just thinking we'll have to have a special meeting at some point anyway, but it may be after, this.
Yeah, because we don't even have the coaches hired.
Correct.
So how do we have coaches working with the kids and are not hired?
Because we were told not to get the coaches hired.
Well, I agree, but we can't have the coaches working with the kids without being hired.
Okay.
So I mean, we put this off a little bit of time, so we can at least read, what's in it. I'm Mr. Nur. I'd like to, see Mr. Nur's opinion on it also, and have a meeting even if it's 2 weeks from now, to hire the coaches that we need, to run these programs, and to maybe even change some of these proposals. I mean, we're the deciding people now on this COVID, and it's our butt, if something doesn't go right.
Mr. Nur, do you have an opinion?
Well, I mean, I think that's your prerogative, but I mean, I personally agree with Mr. Hine.
I do too.
Well, and I don't not agree. I don't disagree with him. I just, when Bob and I kind of talked about this the other day, our next board meeting right now scheduled is in August. So, as long as we have some type of a plan, or we at least know when we can kind of get together and meet and start at least processing this, I can start our end of what we're doing, meeting with the coaches, and then whatever the start date is that we get it approved, they can start after that date. If it's, if we meet the week of the 22nd, whatever works out best.
Yeah, I think what we do is hey, I shared it with you guys. It's not on the agenda for approval. Like I said, I think in the communication, you can consider it. It's entirely, obviously, you guys know, it's up to you for approval or not. I think it's wise to look through it, and we should. I mean, Tom, the timeline would be the week of the 22nd is like some voluntary activities to get started, correct?
Well, I would
after the first.
Football's the one that always is like pushing to, because they're the ones that do most of the stuff throughout the summer. He's not actually, the coach isn't here the week of the 22nd. So he said to me today, they'd be okay starting the 29th with him there. But if he's not there and the trainers are running or the assistant coaches are running any weight training, they could, however it works out that week, I'd like us to at least hopefully have an answer that week if we could.
So, I mean, we could tentatively even, I can throw some dates out to the board, quite honestly, for, that week of the 22nd that we have a meeting. Melissa may have middle school staff ready at that point for approval. So we could, there'll be a few things we can act on at that time or consider if that works for the board. That week of the 22nd, I'll just get some availability and we can schedule a meeting if that works for the board.
Yeah, I think Dale makes a really important point. If you don't have coaches hired, well, you do want to do that before you get them working.
Well, yeah, we can kind of wrap that all into that meeting. We can have the majority of that meeting focusing on coaches and this plan, and then we can do some other personnel related issues if we need to. Does that sound reasonable, board?
Yes.
Definitely.
Dale, does that meet your needs there on that one?
Yes.
Okay, and
sounds good to me.
Yeah, and certainly any feedback, share it out so that we can make any changes maybe beforehand. I'll put something together that you can give some feedback.
And I'm gonna, in the meantime, I'm gonna reach out I'm trying to reach out we're having a District 11 wide AD meeting tomorrow morning, and I'm gonna reach out to some schools, especially the ones that are Lehigh Valley Health Network schools like we are, and kind of see what they're doing, if they're making any adjustments in the policy as well. I think the nice thing would have been when the stuff came from the state, it would have given us a date in the future instead of basically saying you could start like today, and not putting everyone sort of in a bind of like scrambling to try to get stuff going without really being totally prepared.
Thank you.
Right.
Sounds good.
And then Bob, the other thing from athletics is where our end of the year awards video is done, and it's going to get posted on our newly done school YouTube account next week. So I know Adam will talk about that when he goes through his other stuff at the end of the meeting. So that's basically it from athletics.
Tommy, would you be able to send us that link so that we could look at them, please, when you get that?
Yeah, that'll all be posted on social media and wherever else the stuff gets posted.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, thank you, board.
Tom, on the opening for the girls soccer, do you have plans to interview for that? You lined up?
Well, no, I think the deadline,
23rd?
yeah. So I don't right now, but I mean, it would try to get it done that week. I haven't really talked to Adam about it, but we
would be wise to attempt to get it
right
good wrapped up that week so we can discuss it in concert with this and the other coaches. Or I don't know, Thomas, if we're pushing off to that next week, the 29th or 30th.
We'll get it done that week if we have to. Like,
I can see how it develops.
Okay.
Thank you, Tom.
No problem. Thank you, guys.
7F, Carbon Lehigh Intermediate Unit 21, Mr. Dietrich.
But the only new development here is that we were, prior to pandemic, or what I like to call pre-pandemic, we were in the midst of a contract negotiation with our CLEA unit. And then the pandemic hit, and that just put a wrench in everything. So what we were able to do is negotiate a 1-year extension of the said contract so that we had more time to negotiate, for us to make decisions, for them to vote, et cetera, et cetera. Just so we bought ourselves a year. They had wanted 2 years, but we negotiated to 1 year. That way we can keep the future as clearly in front of us as we can, because we don't know what's 2 years out. So that was just passed. They passed it a week and a half ago. So that's breaking news for us.
Thank you.
That's it.
7G, Borough of Catasauqua, Mr. Hine.
Yes, I participated in their meeting last week, and there was no information given that pertained to the school district.
Okay, thank you. 7H, Borough of North Catasauqua, Mr. Bashaw.
There's nothing at this time.
Thank you. 7I, Hanover Township, Mrs. Reed.
Nothing at this time.
Thank you. 7J, PSBA Liaison Update, Mr. Panto.
No report at this time.
7K, Lehigh Career and Technical Institute Update. If you go on their website, you'll be able to see the senior awards. And that's all for me. Moving on to 8. Approval of minutes from prior meetings. School board meeting held on May 12th, 2020. 9, approval of Treasury's report for May 2020. 10, approval of budget transfers, May 2020. 11, approval of payment of all AP bills from June 2020. 12, approval to ratify all all expenses other than AP May 2020. 13, approval to run manual checks on June 26, 2020. 14, approval for payment of all AP bills on July 15th, 2020.
So moved.
Second, Jillian.
Any questions? This is a roll call, please. You're muted. You're muted, Lois.
Sorry. Can you tell me who approved and and seconded that motion, please?
I made the motion, Dale Hine.
And
Thank you.
I seconded it, Jillian.
Thank you. If you could check when you do them, your names, just so I can be sure. Okay, Jason Bashaw,
Yes.
Jillian Emmert,
Yes.
Christy Cooper,
Abstain?
Dwayne Dietrich,
Yes.
Dale Hine,
Yes.
Donald Panto,
Yes.
Lauren Cieslak,
Yes.
and Carol Cunningham.
Yes. 15, financial. A, resolution for the final adoption of budget for 2020, 2021. B, final adoption of cafeteria fund budget for 2020, 2021. And C, approval of financial institutions. And D, approval of renewal of contracts. E, recommended insurance quotes. F, approval of lunch prices for the 2020-2021 school year. And I'll stop there. Do I have a motion?
So moved, Dwayne Dietrich.
Second, Lauren Cieslak.
Any questions?
Yeah, on the service contracts, Tom, you have family, it's number 51. It's Family ID and Corporate, and the description says includes mobile app that will allow coaches access to emergency medical forms. Can you explain that to me, please?
It's not medical. It's not medical forms. So what used to happen is we would give the coaches for each sport a emergency contact information list for each kid. Now they don't need the forms and they don't need to be taking a binder with them to all the games. They basically have an app on their phone where all the contact information for the kids for that sport is listed.
So it's just contact information, not necessarily medical information.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Last year was the first year we used it, and it worked really well. I think it was like 100. I think it was like 195. I can't see it on the thing right now, but I think it was like $195 extra or something like that.
It's $1,400 now.
No, the extra for the family IDs, yeah, like $1,250. So whatever the difference was, it was just that mobile app access.
Okay, my only concern was where it said medical forms. You know, I was a little concerned with that, but you're saying it's just their contact information.
Well, but the coaches also have to know if there's some situation with an athlete from a medical situation as well. And that's what that stuff provides them. Because it's what the parents fill out. It's what the parents fill out on the online submission.
Okay, so it's coming from the parents.
Yeah, the Family ID is the online registration for sports. So the information that's provided on there is the information provided by the parents on the kids. And then we have access to it and our trainers have access to it. So if a kid gets injured, the parents are supposed to, like, part of it is like their insurance information, insurance number. So if something happens and one of our athletes needs to get in to see a doctor, our trainers have access to some of that information that helps speed up the process to getting them into a doctor.
Okay.
Any other questions? If not, this is a roll call, please.
Yes, Dwayne Dietrich,
Yes.
Jason Bashaw,
Yes.
Dale Hine,
Yes.
Christy Cooper,
Abstain?
Lauren Cieslak,
Yes.
Jillian Emmert,
Yes.
Donald Panto,
Yes.
Carol Cunningham.
Yes. Moving on to 16, personnel. A, nomination for appointment, Kim Mooney, middle
So
school.
moved. So move, please.
Second, Dwayne Dietrich.
Any questions? This is a roll call, please.
Donald Panto,
Yes.
Dwayne Dietrich,
Yes.
Jillian Emmert,
Yes.
Dale Hine,
No.
Christy Cooper,
Abstain?
Lauren Cieslak,
Yes.
Jason Bashaw,
Yes.
Carol Cunningham.
Yes. 16B, change in employment status. 16C, approval of recommendation for Derek Troxels to serve as a Lehigh Valley Workforce Investment Board Summer Technology Intern.
Hold on, wait, don't we have to go back and finish the approvals? Or was that for all of them?
No,
I'm not sure. Was that A, B, and C? Was that?
just
Yeah.
A.
So hold on, we only approved Kim, but we didn't approve
No.
Joey and Anthony, right?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. I
1,
didn't hear
2,
their
and 3.
names. I didn't hear their
Mr.
names. Sorry.
Mr. DeMeo, do you want to say something?
I certainly can. Good evening, everyone. I'm pinch hitting for Mr. Doberman this evening, but I'd like to introduce our two gentlemen who are going to be joining our staff at Sheckler. First off, I'd like to introduce Joseph Rivera. Mr. Rivera has a Bachelor of Arts from Boston University in psychology. He also has a Master's of Education from Kutztown University with a concentration pre-K to 4. He also was the head wrestling coach at East Stroudsburg University for a time. Some accomplishments: he has a 2-time recipient of Kutztown University's Excellence in Clinical Experience Award and the Colonial Athletic Association Commissioner's Academic Award. He's finishing up a long-term substitute teaching position at Swiftwater Elementary, and he will be joining our 4th grade team. So we're very excited to have him on board. Joseph, if you'd like to say hello to everyone.
Hi, I would. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
So
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you to all the members of the board. Thank you to Mr. DeMeo and for Mr. Doberman, who's not present at the moment. I just wanted to thank them for their time and the opportunity to join Sheckler. All the other members of the interview committee, it was such a pleasure going through the process. I enjoyed my time immensely, meeting everybody and speaking with them. And I'm just super excited and to start at Sheckler and join the Catasauqua family and the community. It seems like such an amazing place, and I'm really excited to get started.
Welcome aboard.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
All right.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Our second staff member joining us is Anthony Brinkley. Anthony Brinkley is a Catty grad. I also have the pleasure and honor of teaching him from elementary school, so I'm thrilled to see him come up and be back with us now. Anthony has a Bachelor of Science from East Stroudsburg University in early childhood education, and also has a Master's in Education in Special Ed from Lehigh University. He's finishing up a stint at Centennial School in Bethlehem, and also worked in the Virginia school districts in special ed and autism support. And we're extremely happy to have you back, Anthony. So welcome back and welcome aboard. He is going to be joining our 3rd grade team.
Is
Anthony,
he here?
You're here, right?
Yeah, I wanted to say, thank you to everybody I mean, I'm so excited. Kind of like Mr. Rivera was saying too. Just the whole process was nice and easy, and it was very enjoyable. And I'm mostly excited here to give back to a school district that gave me so much. So I can't wait to get started.
Congratulations.
Welcome.
Anthony.
Congratulations. Welcome aboard.
Congratulations, Anthony. Good to have you.
Miss Inselman, would you like to say something about Mrs. Mooney? Is she muted?
All right, now can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm excited to have Kim join us at the middle school and join our Catasauqua family. She has 17 years of teaching experience with kids K through 12, and she has 4.5 years of experience as administrator prior to coming to us as an assistant principal at the middle school. She is married. She has 2 girls that are middle school age, so she will both have middle school age at home and at work. And she is looking forward to, like I said, joining us and being part of us. And she already has her entry plan all worked out and ready to go. And she has her letter of introduction that I'm going to send out tomorrow in a power announcement to our families. And she's excited to get on board as quick as possible. So I do appreciate the board's support. And like I said, I'm just really, really happy that she's able to join us.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Moving on to 16.
Wait, Carol, I don't have that we had a motion, a second, and we didn't vote on those positions.
We did.
16A, yeah, we did.
We did on A, but we just, where are you moving on to? Because we had it for, we had the originally going through, you called for 16A, 2 and 3, 16B and C. So that,
No.
We didn't. I stopped at 16A.
Yeah, so 16A was all 3 of them, Lois, and then the next, so that was Dale and I think Dwayne.
Yes.
Yes, but was that A just on, I thought Dale stopped us, I'm sorry, after Kimberly Mooney, so he didn't stop us there.
No.
No, we stopped at A.
Thank you.
Moving into 16B, change in employment status. C, 16C, approval of recommendation for Derek Troxel to serve as a Lehigh Valley Workforce Investment Board Summer Technology Intern employed by the Lehigh Valley Workforce Investment Board effective immediately. 16D, approval of FMLA for employee number 1585.
So moved.
Okay, I'll stop there.
Second, Dwayne Dietrich.
Dale Hein. Question. Can somebody explain the Derek Troxel? What's that all about?
I'll take the first stab, and then Christina, if you need to jump in, you're familiar with the grant, or Cathy. So there is a grant program through the Lehigh Valley Workforce Investment Board that they they pay for the full cost of a student intern in a school district. They can be doing custodial, they can be doing, whatever you designate as appropriate. And so internally we talked about what we need, and Cathy and Wayne identified the need for a technology assistance for the summer projects. And so that this person is employed purely by them. It's grant funded by them. I mean, actually it's not even grant funded. It's literally, they pay the person directly. So we're requesting the approval that we participate in it, that's happening, but not his employment by the district. I'm not sure if that helps.
That's correct, Bob. The Derek would be paid directly by the Workforce Board Lehigh Valley, and it's a grant that the Workforce Board received to support interns.
Yeah, I mean,
virtual or face-to-face settings.
Yeah, I mean, technically speaking, is it even something that we formally need to approve? I would question that, but I think it's wise to have that in front of you for some acceptance.
My question is, I don't understand why we are approving it, but if it makes it, you feel more comfortable, that's fine.
Yeah, we have a relationship with the Workforce Investment Board, and there is something that I signed, so I don't know. And this one, I'm feeling a little bit better if we have some sort of approval, if you don't mind.
Fine with me.
Any other questions? If not, this is a roll call, please.
Lauren Cieslak,
Yes.
Jillian Emmert,
Yes.
Dale Hine,
Yes.
Jason Bashaw,
Yes.
Christy Cooper,
Abstain?
Dwayne Dietrich,
Yes.
Donald Panto,
Yes.
and Carol Cunningham.
Yes. 16E, approval of 2020-2021 secretary clerk salaries, and I'll stop there. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Dwayne Dietrich.
Second, Jillian Emmert.
Any questions? If not, this is a roll call, please.
Dwayne Dietrich,
Yes.
Christy Cooper,
Abstain?
Lauren Cieslak,
Yes.
Jason Bashaw,
Yes.
Jillian Emmert,
Yes.
Donald Panto,
I'm going to abstain.
Dale Hine,
Yes.
Carol Cunningham.
Yes. 16F, approval of 2020-2021 food service salaries. 16G, approval of 2020-2021 custodian and maintenance salaries. And I'll stop there. Do I have a motion?
Dale, so moved.
Lauren, second?
Any questions? If not, this is a roll call, please.
Donald Panto,
Yes.
Jason Bashaw,
Yes.
Christy Cooper,
Abstain?
Jillian Emmert,
Yes.
Dale Hine,
Yes.
Lauren Cieslak,
Yes.
Dwayne Dietrich,
I will abstain.
and Carol Cunningham.
Yes. Moving into 16H, approval of 2020-2021 transportation salaries.
So moved, Dale.
Second, Dwayne Dietrich.
Any questions? This is a roll call, please.
Dwayne Dietrich,
Yes.
Donald Panto,
Yes.
Lauren Cieslak,
Yes.
Christy Cooper,
Abstain?
Jillian Emmert,
Yes.
Jason Bashaw,
Yes.
Dale Hine,
Yes.
and Carol Cunningham.
Yes. 16I, approval of 2020-2021 administration salaries. I'll stop there. Do I have a motion?
So moved, Dwayne.
Second, Jillian.
Any questions? This is a roll call, please.
Dale Hine,
No.
Lauren Cieslak,
Yes.
Jillian Emmert,
Yes.
Jason Bashaw,
Yes.
Christy Cooper,
Abstain?
Donald Panto,
Yes.
Dwayne Dietrich,
Yes.
and Carol Cunningham.
Yes. Moving on to curriculum, 17A, approval of preliminary approval of textbooks for the 2020-2021 school year. And I'll stop there. Do I have a motion?
So moved, Dwayne.
Second, Lauren?
Any questions? This is a roll call, please.
Dwayne Dietrich,
Yes.
Christy Cooper,
Abstain.
Jillian Emmert,
Yes.
Dale Hine,
Yes.
Jason Bashaw,
Yes.
Lauren Cieslak,
Yes.
Donald Panto,
Yes.
and Carol Cunningham.
Yes. Moving on to 18, board approvals. 18A, free and reduced lunch program, 2020-2021. B, approval of homestead and farmstead exclusion resolution 2020-2021. 18C, resolution equal opportunity employer. 18D, approval of revised 2019-2020 CSD school calendar. 18E, approval of submission of the 2020-2021 Catty Area School District Flexible Instructional Day application and instructional exemplars to the Pennsylvania Department of Education presented below. 18F, approval of 4-year lease with Apple in the annual amount of $189,941.37, commencing July 15th, 2020. 18G, approval of revised van bus stops for the 2019-2020 school year. And I'll stop there.
So moved, Dwayne.
Second, Jason Bashaw.
This is a roll call, please.
Lauren Cieslak,
Yes.
Jason Bashaw,
Yes.
Dale Hine,
Yes.
Jillian Emmert,
Yes.
Donald Panto,
Yes.
Christy Cooper,
Abstain.
Dwayne Dietrich,
Yes.
and Carol Cunningham.
Yes. I'd like to do.
I have a question about E. Christina, would you, so I just have a question on like 3 of them.
Sure.
So the grade 7 ELA, so I think it's a formatting thing, and maybe like you could tell me I'm wrong on it, but that's the only one that says day 1, 2, 3, 4, and none of the other ones say that.
They don't have to.
Okay.
PDE said it was very flexible. It could be for one day, it could be for a week. So it was really whatever the teacher chose to write it for.
Okay. And then for 3rd grade STEAM, at the bottom of the first page, it says spring is upon us. Should that be in there if we're submitting it for the fall?
I'd have to look at exactly what you're talking about. I believe that was the one with the live art.
Correct.
I'll take a look at that.
Okay.
I think it was just, we were allowed to submit an exemplar from any time that the lesson was taught.
Right.
So I'm not exactly sure what the spring is upon us was in reference to. I have to look back at that specifically, but
Okay.
I'll take a look at that.
And then the 2nd grade ELA, Jamie Gallo's name is in it. Can we have her name in the document? So it's on the seesaw activity, and then it's where I think it's the crayon book is listed, and then it's her picture and her name, and then it says assign. So I just didn't know if we could have her picture and her name in it.
I can actually black it out. So just to let you know, the system that we need to submit the PDE flexible instructional application through is not the most user-friendly for viewing. So I put a lot of things in Google Docs to try to make it easier for the board to see. But when we upload those things, I can easily, that won't be seen. And
Okay.
it's going to look totally different than what you looked at, but the information will be the same.
Okay, I just didn't know if we could have her information there. That was all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'd like to include old business, New business, commendations, information items, and correspondence together. We'll start with Mrs. Cotron.
Hello, I would just like to welcome Christy Cooper. And if you have any tech problems, don't hesitate to contact Wayne or myself. And I would like to congratulate Joey Rivera and Anthony Brinkley. And just like Ron had stated, I remember Anthony going up through Sheckler. So it is neat to see our students come back. So congratulations. And happy 4th of July. We won't see each other, yes.
Thank you.
So stay healthy.
Mr. Caress.
Well, it's kind of funny. About probably 6 months ago, I was thinking about summer of 2020 and looking at things. It looked like, boy, this is really going to be sort of a laid back summer. I can organize my office real pretty and stuff like that. But it's working out. And in a good way. We have really a lot of action items this summer. I mean, not the least of which is the new iPads. A lot of people are really, we know when the parents come by to drop off the old ones that kids were using at home, are really excited about being able to use new ones next year. Along with that, the filtering company that we use called Lightspeed Systems is doing a major revamp of the service. And one of the exciting things is some of the changes they're making are geared towards iPads. So not next week, but the following week, they have a 3-hour training course I'm going to be participating in. And it's really sounds like it's going to be great. Some of the new things we can do with the iPads, both in terms of monitoring what the kids are doing and also some additional capabilities that may help our teachers. Some of the other things we're working on this summer, an overdue upgrade of our phone system is taking place, and it includes some really advanced features. Our users will now be able to, when they get voicemail, they can actually have a audio file go right to their email, in addition to just having the blinking light on the phone. So I think it'll allow people to better respond to parents and other messages that come through. We're also migrating a number of our services to from local databases to cloud solutions. We're just about done doing that with the cafeteria system. We're going to be doing the same thing with the SNAP nurse office management system. This is something that'll really help the nurses out because right now they haven't really been able to do too much when it comes to remote access to the records. And it's going to go web-based, app-based, and I think they're really excited about that. We're also going to have some enhancements to Power School, in addition to going possibly to version 20, which gives a lot more information to teachers. There's also some add-ins we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing the online enrollment feature where parents can do a lot of the enrollment functions from home. We're also going to have a report card module where parents can go to a portal or they can get information through email. It's really very flexible and it's not adding much cost to our existing power announcement system, which has really worked out great. And then along with that, we do have the normal computer replacements. We're really I think, in a good position as far as our lab computer hardware. The only place where it was still kind of lacking was the middle school STEAM room. And that's something we plan to address this summer as well. So I know the time is really going to go quickly, but I think we're really going to get a lot accomplished this summer.
Thank you. Mr. DeMayo.
So just share a few things with you about our end of the year. This week on Tuesday, we had our Scheckler Goodbye Parade. And a special thanks to Kirsten Spengler for organizing and getting that ball rolling with that. I think the kids enjoyed seeing the teachers parade through the town. I know our SROs had a big hand in it, and our fire department and our police officers. So we thank them for that and their support. I think it was just a nice little period to the end of the year, and the kids really enjoyed seeing those teachers come around. We did our iPad return the last couple of days, and I just want to thank Lisa Meckes, Denise Shoemaker, Dan Cochran, and Carla Frislin for their help the last couple of days with me. That was a monumental task getting them out and getting them back in, so that went well. Yesterday, we had our 4th grade farewell parade, and the 4th grade students got to come parade through the back of the school. Their teachers organized that. A special thank you to Blondie's in town. She discounted her cupcakes. Our home and school paid for them. So that was a nice send off to our 4th graders, even though we couldn't see them in person in school. That was a lot of fun. And finally, Mr. Wilson, Mr. Cochran put together our end of the year video, which was shared virtually so that all the students could view that as well. And I believe that's on our Facebook page, as well as some video from the parade. That's all I have to share with you.
Thank you. Miss Inselman.
Yes, hi, thank you. First, I would just like to thank Amy Diamond Jones for putting together the 4th grade virtual tour. Again, it's something that we would have done, at the end of the year. We would have brought up the 4th grade students and showed them around the middle school, and they would have had an opportunity to meet their teachers and myself. So it was great that we were able to bring the tour to them, and they could view it at home, and hopefully just engage them and excite them for coming up to the middle school in the fall. We will continue with a parent orientation and a student orientation in August, along with locker nights and so forth, and we will schedule them accordingly, and according to the CDC guidelines. We'll be sure to make sure that we get that done for them. Also, I wanted to thank Kimmy Miller and Vicki McLaughlin for putting together our CMS Student Talent Show. It was great to see the kiddos at home dancing, singing, or playing an instrument. And I'm glad they had the courage to be able to do so and to have their friends, view that from home. So that was neat to see. And then also want to thank Greg Freeman for compiling and putting together the 8th grade slideshow. That was amazing. I know it took a lot of time, a lot of effort, since the file was quite huge of pictures that we had asked parents to send in for the slideshow, and also pictures that our teachers have had of the graduating 8th grade class over the last 4 years. So all those videos are on our website. So if there's anybody who did not have a chance to view it or see it, I please invite you to check it out. It's sure to bring a smile to your face. Some other items to talk about. We did have our 8th grade moving up drive-by on Tuesday, June 9th, and we had our 8th grade teachers present, and they made signs, and we did a lot of hooting and hollering and congratulating the 8th grade students who were driven by their parents. They came to the middle school, they drove through the loop. I had the graduation march blaring from my car. So we had some music in the background, and we decorated the outside of the middle school. We had streamers on our pillars, and we had a table with goodies for the 8th grade students. And so that was exciting. And then we also had our faculty parade, our farewell end of the year parade, which we had yesterday, June 10th, and we went over to the Hanover and the Allendale town area. We also went to Catty and North Catty. And I just wanted to do a shout out to the Catasauqua and the North Catasauqua Police and Fire Departments for donating their time to helping us provide this special parade to our students. Just a special thank you to Chief Kish from the Catty Police Department, Rich Herzog, the Fire Chief of Catty, Sean McGinley, the Fire Chief of North Catty, Roger Schreier, the Assistant Fire Chief of North Catty, and our SRO officers, Potak and Best, along with Harvey Emmerich, head of the Catty Fire Police, and the men that helped clear the intersection for us. It was a fabulous time, and it was neat to see the parents out there with their signs and the kids with their signs and people just clapping and cheering as we were going through the town. We had 5 fire trucks, like 2 rescue trucks, and police, and so we really had a great time. And we do have a video of that that's on our Facebook, and we'll be looking to put it on our website as well if you want to check that out. Just to end my updates here, today we had our student iPad return from 4 to 6 p.m., which Wayne is actually at the middle school right now. So a special shout out to Wayne and to Kathy and also to Carla for doing a fabulous job with collecting and inventorying our iPads, our student iPad return process. We will have one more additional evening on June 15th from 4 to 6 p.m. And then hopefully that will conclude our iPad return process with the kiddos. So that is all I have for tonight. And I just would like to wish everyone a great 4th of July and hope everyone has a good, safe time celebrating the holiday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Snug.
Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. I wanted to start off by saying, I know we said this a lot in May, but I want to say it one more time in June. I just want to thank the students, teachers, parents, administrators, community members, everybody pulling together during what was a very tough school year filled with a lot of trials, and we pulled together and we finished strong. And I just wanted to thank everybody for that. And I'm certain we're going to be fine as next year comes. I did want to say that the high school's virtual events are going to be coming over the next 2 weeks. We just have our new YouTube page was created today. So you can look for those events on social media as they come out. We're also going to be adding the middle school's events that are out there so everybody can find them on one page for YouTube so everybody can see the great things happening in our school. And I did want to say a special thank you to the Brown and White, our staff and our students. They were unable to print a final edition with everything that happened in COVID, but that still didn't stop them from creating a senior magazine, which featured a lot of the things that would have been featured in the articles or in the newspaper as well. I have a copy for everybody. I'll distribute to you guys the next time we meet in person. So hopefully that's in August. So everybody have a good summer and thank you for everything.
Thank you. Miss Dr. Lutz Demling.
Hello, everyone. I would just like to say congratulations to Christy Cooper, as well as to Kim, Anthony, and Joe. Welcome to our Catty team. We're thrilled to have all of you join us. And second, I just wanted to share that we did put together our summer professional development menu of options for our teachers. We have a variety of differentiated options to offer some choice to teachers based on their needs, but the main focus is on taking Google Classroom to the next level, really looking at the higher level features of our Apple iPads, as well as accessibility and iWork suite, and looking at our Canvas learning management system and making sure that our courses are at the 2.0 level with enhanced features within the online courses. So we're excited about our summer professional development and also our summer curriculum work. We have teachers who have already started work related to the new curricula that we're going to be implementing in the fall. So we're thrilled about that. And finally, I'd also like to piggyback on what Adam said. You know, I really am proud of our Catty team. We all really pulled together and rose to the challenge during this fourth quarter. And it was just great to have the community support, parent support, and everyone working together in the best interest of students. I was really pleased with how everything went and during such a challenging time. So that's it. That's all I have.
Thank you. Miss Keffer.
Hi, how are you? I don't really have much of anything. I think we have such a great Catty team and there's such a great community surrounding us that even though it was difficult with this fourth quarter, I think we found that there were a lot of positives that we can draw upon for next year. So thank all of you, Catty team and board members, and I hope you have a great summer.
Thank you. Mr. Nur. Wow, thank you.
I better get my cards out. It's a joke. That's all I got. It's a Thursday. What can I tell you?
Mrs. Cecilak.
Yeah, I was able to attend the Sheckler Parade and the CMS parade from afar. It went past our house. You could hear the fire trucks from far away. And it was just amazing to see the smiles and the excitement on all of the teachers' faces, as well as the students. They were just so excited to see their teachers one last time. And all I could think was, what a great ending to a year that was so hard for all of us, kids and teachers and staff. So it was just great to have that, come through our community and end the school year for our kids. Again, I just want to thank the teachers for their hard work and their dedication, making our online learning a success for our kids. And last, just to welcome the new members of our team. So welcome to our new Rough Riders. And that's all.
Thank you. Miss Emmert.
I just want to thank Jacob and Amber for being our high school reps to the board. It was nice to have them and have their perspective on things. Welcome Anthony, Joey, and Christy. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who worked extra hard during the pandemic. And I think we did amazing. If you hear what other school districts are doing in the area, Catty blew them away. So I just want to say thank you to everybody.
Thank you. Mr. Dietrich.
Just welcome to Christy Cooper, our newest board member, and as well as our new administrator and teachers. Welcome to the team. Looking forward to having you, and wish everybody a happy summer, and we'll hit it again in August.
Thank you. Mr. Bashaw.
I just want to welcome our new Rough Riders to the school community. This is a great place, as most of you know. So really looking forward to working with you and seeing you guys do some great things for our kiddos. As an educator, I know it has been a difficult few months, but I have to honestly say that Catty has pulled through this stronger than ever. The communication from the administrative team has been phenomenal with the board. I can't thank them enough. And I am so impressed with the results from the survey, to read the results, to see the results of how well the teachers are doing. I couldn't be prouder to be on the school board and be part of this community. So great job, Rough Riders.
Thank you. Mr. Panto.
Same as everyone has voiced. I just want to give a warm welcome to Christy and to Joe and to Tony. I look forward to getting to meet you, Christy, and working with you on the board. We're a pretty good group. I have to say, it's a little, we're probably patting ourselves on the back, but it's a great bunch of colleagues and a good working team. And Joe, I look forward to meeting you as well. When we get a chance to meet each other, don't hesitate to stop by, and I'll do the same. And Tony, congratulations. It's nice seeing Catty guys come back, and I'm sure it's very rewarding for you. So I look forward to seeing you close by, and just welcome and congratulations.
Thank you. Mrs. Reed.
I just like to take this opportunity to acknowledge all the volunteers that come out every Tuesday to distribute lunches. We still are having between 200 to 250 students that come out. We're still able to continue to give out things from the Catty Community Cares program each week. They get their school lunches and they get their school breakfast. And for some of these families, it's just invaluable being able to have that this summer. So, and there's a lot of people that come out each week to make that happen.
Thank you. Did I miss anybody?
Yeah, I have one thing for Lois.
Mr. Hine.
Or Tom, one of the banners at the high school, the Rough Rider banners are upside down. which I don't know how that could possibly happen, but
It got blown off, and I just assumed, and I haven't had a chance to see Pat, that one of the guys actually, I think, put it on, just attached it because it was hanging there. In one of the storms, probably in April or early May, that happened.
do we have anybody working that could correct it?
I got to check to see if anything was damaged. Because normally we would have the company that installed them. If they get damaged, they're the ones who have to come out and replace some of the hardware. I will check it next time I'm up there.
Yeah, it's just not a good look being upside down.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. School, yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Spangler.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Cunningham. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank and recognize the Board of Education. You are the senior top leadership of our school district, and the way you operate allows the district, the entire district, not just administration, but the entire district to do what we think is right and to take risks for the better of our children, for the betterment of the program. And that is admirable. Just so you know, that doesn't happen everywhere. It's more atypical than typical. And you take it for granted because you are who you are, but it is more than appreciated by myself and our entire team throughout the district. I talk to everyone in our district, employees, and they all recognize that and realize that. So I want to thank you from all of them for all you have done, especially during these incredibly difficult times we've experienced, since March. This is like nothing we've ever anticipated or experienced. And we really, truly, I must say, the Catty team has performed well. And that's not just a self-grandiosing kind of comment. That is literally based on what I hear from parents, students, and people from other school districts, from other areas that know what we're doing. And it's admirable, and I'm humbled by what our team has done. And when I say our team, that's every single person that's associated with our district and our students and children. Second to none. Couldn't imagine being anywhere else. I'd like to congratulate Christy for being part of our team. I look personally forward to working with you, and you're going to fit in fabulously. Joe, Kim, Anthony, congratulations. Welcome to the Rough Rider team. Great place to be, without a question. Hey, do we have things to learn? Absolutely. But you know what? What's powerful is we know we have things to learn, so we learn them. So that's powerful. It's truly a learning organization. We did this pretty significant survey, and we received a lot of great information, a lot of kudos, but also a lot of areas that we need to look at and continue to improve. And continuous improvement is crucial to today's organizations, especially education. I would like to recognize by name a bunch of our lunch volunteers, because they tirelessly show up weekly serving lunches, delivering lunches to our community. Eric Dauberman, Lois Reed, Tom Mole, Melissa Inselman, Sharon Saritsky, Joanne Hefner, Jason Bashaw, Michelle Santiago, Jen Sharetta, Christina Lutz-Demling, Kathy Cochran, Eric Snyder, Shelley Keffer, Jillian Emmert, Lisa Muffley, Adam Schnug, Cherie Gebhardt, Tina Snyder, Kim Sakati, Jenna Potak, and Pat Best. Those are our two SROs who we love. Just thank you. Thank you doesn't cover it. It's just I feel like I'm minimizing it, but we and our community appreciates what you have done and what you do. Big thanks to Dan and Lois for really, handling the development of the meals, the delivery of the meals, and interfacing with our community. Our food service team just tirelessly shows up weekly and does what they need to do. So thank you. That has meant a huge difference to our families who cannot access food, who cannot afford food, who have been affected by this pandemic. We may not realize the impact we've had on them, but it's tremendous. And I hear the stories, and it's heartfelt the appreciation that they have. I would also like to recognize our retirees because sadly we weren't able to do our, annual little lunch, kind of a snack time together and sharing some words and food. But as soon as we're able to, if the board would support that, I would still like to have them come back and do the same exact thing we've typically done. I think it would be great, and I think they would enjoy it as well. And just principals, in case I miss anybody here, but Claudette Berker from Sheckler Elementary, Kurt Ankerstar from Sheckler Elementary, Judy Evans from Catasauqua Middle School, and Janice Walenta from Catasauqua Middle School. Principals, did I miss anyone? Thank you. These folks, they all exemplify what our district is all about. These are longtime teachers. Our teachers stay, our employees stay. It's a great place to work, but they also know there's a lot of dedication and hard work involved here in Catty. So they have served our students and our community extremely well. We certainly wish them the best moving ahead. So we will recognize them shortly when we can all get together. Speaking of that, we are working on our opening plans. We are feverishly putting together data, information, and models. We hope to, within the next, couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, be announcing exactly what the opening will look like. We're pretty positive about what will be happening in support of our parents and children and community. So keep posted. Board will obviously involve you in that, and there'll be some approvals required, et cetera. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you. I just like to welcome Christy to our board, and I couldn't be prouder to be a member of this board. We work well together, and we don't always agree, but we compromise. And I'd like to welcome Kim, Anthony, and Joseph to our Rough Rider family. And I'd like to say congratulations to the administrative team, the teachers for their online learning experience, and to our guidance counselors, and to everybody invested in this school district. My kudos to you.
Thank you.
Recognition of guests and visitors.
Mrs. Cunningham, there were no comments that came through.
25 next virtual meeting dates: Wednesday, August 5th, 2020, Building and Grounds starting at 3, Academics Committee at 4, Athletic Committee meeting at 5. And Tuesday, August 11th, 2020, 7 p.m. school board meeting. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved. This is Dwayne.
Second?
Jillian.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.